My mentor told me it's about struggle and resistance. Struggle and resistance, because that's how you build your power. So it's gonna be some obstacles, but a person has to accept that they're gonna come. And when they do that, they're not overwhelmed by their existence, they're grateful now. I got an opportunity to get stronger right now. And they keep going, and then you can do anything, anything.
They telling me I'm a dead man walking. Okay. Well, fuck it then, y'all listening to a dead man talking. Yeah. Chicken ass niggas, bunch of dead men squawking. If he open up and speak, I'll let the lead rip it off of him. I heard it said the love ends when the death starts. Yeah. I gave.
My album technically mirrors the stages of denial, the stages of grief, really. And so acceptance is a big part of the record. I got it cut up almost in quarters. And so that second to last quarter, the third quarter of my album is the acceptance area. Because I start out in the anger and the denial and frustration. Like, you know, it's everybody else's fault. It's very defiant. And then it has this moment of like, damn, man, like I gotta work on this stuff. So you have that moment where you like, all right, now a little bit of clarity will come. And then there was acceptance. That acceptance period happens, and then there's the resolution. At the end, I resolve myself to be grateful, appreciative, and a striver, one who's gonna continue to strive toward what I believe is the right way to go. I'm gonna keep pushing for that. And it resolves itself at the end, and it takes that whole journey.
It's the death march. Life begins when death starts. For 26 years they slept hard.
Oh yeah, man, you want some great news that just happened to me? I was at BMG, man, they submitted the album for Grammy consideration. It's big, and the cutoff is on the 31st, so, you know, I'm not sure what else is coming out that I gotta be that worried about. Like, all right, it looked like everybody dropped. Think I might be all right if the next few days go well, next few weeks. We'll see, but we get that nomination. That's gonna be big for the coast. It's gonna be big for SAC. Shout out to Seattle. My boy Macntaj is on the album and it's dope. Like, so I'm hoping that happens.
I send a submarine to wake him up with a death charge. This is the death march.
I got into music organically. My mom was was always playing music. Music was a huge part of my family. Like, them Sunday morning, all the windows open, clean the house, and that might start like after breakfast and then just go all day. I grew up in one of them households, and it was a record player back then, you know what I mean? Mom's had an SP 1200, didn't even know what she had. It was just a record player to her. It was an SP, and she used to play everything. So the first time I ever heard like Bambaataa was my mama playing Bambaataa. My mama playing Planet Rock. Like, my mama was playing Curtis Blow and Run DMC, Midnight Star, Atlantic Star, and then the Mary Jane Girls. I grew up in that house. She got me obsessed with Quincy Jones, playing Off the Wall and like Motown, and Mom's was on that Stevie Wonder, Real Tough. And so that really never stopped for me. I kept going. And then my older cousins, they would die hard on their hip hop. Die hard. Like, I remember hearing the Invasion of the Flat Booty Bitches, Too Short. Like, the hard to find OG stuff. They had all of that in Kumo D's and LLs. And so they got me into stuff like that, ultramagnetic, just different kind of hip hop. And so I got obsessed. And then I found Uncle Jam's Army. I found CIA, Ice Cube's group. I was already watching Ice-T. And then it just, here come Eazy-E, here come NWA, here come the Ghetto Boys. That first iteration of the Ghetto Boy was over. It was over, I was addicted.
Life begins when death starts. For 26 years they slept hard. I sent a submarine.
What I did, it was strategic, it had several different points to it. But what I did was kill the psychology on the execution of X-Rated. The name X-Rated, for someone who wasn't a diehard fan that had followed my career, we had association with a certain kind of energy that I wanted people to know didn't exist. So I pull up, we not on there, shoot them up, bang, bang, kill them all, they all gotta die, this or that. You know, I don't rap about eat your kids, eat your people. That ain't my lane, but some people assume that it is. So I wanted to make it definitively clear that that particular psychology didn't exist for me. And so the execution of X-Rated was really about killing a false sense of who X-Rated was, a definition that wasn't real. They say a lie allowed to stand too long becomes the truth. It has to be refuted. That's why the term true lies, the oxymoron true lies. I've been gone so long, I'm like Bigfoot. People say, I swear, X this, X that. It's more stories out there about me and the mythological aspects of my life and my career than reality.
Right.
And so I wanted to kill that and make room for me to go in different directions as an artist. I speak to my team about that frequently. Me and Macntaj had these conversations about our particular desire to make a different kind of music that some people would consider curveballs, a superpower, or a never gave up. You know, this is what we own. This is how we really feel in our private conversations. And so I felt like I needed to make room for that to exist in my life, that transition, and allow those who supported me in different iterations of my career to have a choice. You could come this way with me, or we can just say, say this is where we part. On the intro to the execution of X-Rated, I have the R&R where I'm inside of the prison, the song FYE, and then the execution of X-Rated where he's actually on the lethal injection table. And so it's hyper ignorant, hyper violent, because I'm trying to demonstrate that this is what people wanted. Like this is and that's why it's saying, are you not entertained?
Yeah.
It's a very sarcastic question. Russell Crowe in the Coliseum. I thought that's what y'all wanted. Kill everybody, don't care about nothing. Get put to death because I'm foaming at the mouth like an animal. This what y'all wanted for me?
Yeah.
This is where we part. So if they didn't pay attention, they would have missed that. This album starts in that same moment. On the execution of X-Rated, my family is saying, wake up. And the heartbeat, the flat line turns into a heartbeat, the heartbeat intensifies, and I wake up. And it comes into a consciousness, so the album is very enlightened from there. This project, when the family's saying wake up, you hear these flames crackling. You hear demons screaming and reaching for me. And it shows what happens when I descended into that particular madness during that, what I call the flatline part of execution of X-Rated.
Yeah.
So they're very much companion pieces. This is technically the story of what happened to X-Rated during the flatline of execution of X-Rated. I'm gonna close that chapter and allow people, because a lot of people grew up. I got people telling me, man, I could bump your music in the car with my kids, man. I made music that they could bump around their parents. And I didn't have to sacrifice my energy to do it.
Yeah.
You know, California Dreamin don't got one cuss word in the whole song, and people didn't even notice. I have BMG telling me, man, we don't have the explicit version for California Dreamin. Like, we don't have the clean version. It's like, we don't have the clean. I think we only have the explicit. We need the clean when we enter the album, like the song is clean. Those people have been listening, studying the whole record, poured over it, metadata, everything. It didn't even occur to them that the song was clean.
So used to.
Because we did it in a way that just didn't, that wasn't the point.
Yeah.
We didn't need the corn. We wasn't to be corny. It was because it organically didn't require that. We used other means of communicating and expressing ourselves. Where it was necessary to say something in a way that required vulgarity, it was executed. Where it was not necessary, it was not done. And I studied the greatest MCs that have ever blessed the mic, in my opinion. I studied Rakim. I studied KRS-One. I studied Run. I studied LL. I studied Jay. I studied Nas. I studied Snoop. I studied Face. I studied Cube. I studied Big. I studied, and I went Raekwon, Method Man. I went everywhere. And the thing that became clear for MC was the ones who were superior, Eminem, the ones who were superior used language to express themselves over using profanity to express themselves unless they intended to do it. Mm-hmm. There was no unintentional vulgarity. Mm-hmm. I'll notice I'll get through a whole J verse and he'll be like, nigga, at the end of the verse, and I'm like, well, I write that down because I would write it down and read it. And it'd be like, that's the only thing there. He did that on purpose. Yeah. He did it on purpose. It's the only thing you gotta bleep on a clean verse. Was one nigga in a 16-bar verse and the chorus was clean. Mm-hmm. I'm like, this dude right here is doing this on purpose. It's white witnessing a master at work. Nas, You know, and then I saw weaknesses in MCs I loved. And, you know, very, very prominent. I'm a huge fan of Scarface. Write his lyrics down, there's motherfucker everywhere, everywhere. And that motherfucker was it wasn't there on purpose. It was there as an expression of how he communicates. It was an honest expression of his communication. But it also, to me, was a weakness as an MC. And somebody that I consider like my greatest inspiration as an MC, him and Cube and Pop, were almost had the biggest influence on me until later when I started studying technical aspects like this. And so I saw that, this particular thing would have made my favorite MC doper, right? So now I gotta look at my stuff and scrutinize my stuff that way too. I need to get rid of this word, it's there for nothing. Get this word out of there, it's there for nothing. So, you know, I'm trying to be on my robo rapper bionic MC at all times. Me and Mac are like that when we working. And so, you know, this album is a reflection of that particular approach. It's on purpose. It's on purpose. So I mean, you know, listen to it, get a bar, blow something, you know, and really sit down with me like they used to do. Yeah. And I guarantee somebody gonna walk away like, oh, the California Dreamin album is literally some of the dopest hip hop out right now. It's a fact. Yeah, I'm honored. Like, if anybody made it, I would have said that. And I did it on purpose. I wanted it to be that way on purpose. And I mean, we on a good one. BlocStar, we tripping right now. Trappy Gilmore 2 is out. It's some of the dopest hip hop, period. Like, we really tripping. We tripping. We pushing a cold line. And I'm having fun. So, you know, California Dreamin album, man, if you ain't seen it, man, get aboard that thing. I had to walk through hell to get to my heaven. That's what this album represents. It's a journey.
Wake 'em up with a death charge. You had more life, more light, less spark. Better wear vets, let you.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate part of almost a beautiful consequence of the internet. Right. The internet made it to where anybody call themselves a rapper. One of my big homies told me, he said, you can't just put on a pair of shorts and grab a ball and say you're a basketball player. Right. You just a dude to play basketball. Right. But hip hop is like one of the only sports where we allow somebody to just grab a ball and say they a basketball player. We're like, my nigga, you just a dude, you doing karaoke. Yeah. It's karaoke, just very good karaoke and very bad hip hop. It's so difficult to get a salute nowadays from one generation to the next, from peer groups, like, hey, salute. If you see it, salute the greatness, why we got it. Like, why we gotta lose Nipsey Hussle for people to be like, this dude's dope. Like, he was dope anyway, he been dope. Like, that wasn't a secret. It wasn't a secret. It was like a horrible secret if it was one that Nipsey Hussle was dope. But he died and everybody like, it's like, come on, man. That's no good. That's no good. And so my feeling is just, we have these people in our culture who are recreational, the hobbyists. This is not a profession. This is not a pursuit of excellence. This is a pastime, but they can blend in now. You know what I mean? If the kid that just never had to struggle a day in his life in any regard, make an album and flaunt his wealth that he got from his parents and compete with a kid from a neighborhood who been through hell, like skinny, hungry, French braided Meek Mill was. Like, that kid got to deal with people who just ain't never been through nothing and try to survive and swim and get the record and penetrate and actually be acknowledged. Where the other one just bust a rhyme, pop some pills, and shoot a dope ass video with his grandma money, and be considered a member of this great league that we got.
Wanna see your chest part, like the movie, when you die, that's the best part. I loved it when the bullets tore you.
Yeah, a salute, you know, Hip Hop Seattle. I appreciate what y'all do. I appreciate the love and support y'all getting my guy. Macntaj is from my neighborhood, Gordon Block. He is up in the Northwest. The family's up here. We got a lot of family up here. People see me up here a lot. I love it up here. Cocaine is up here. That's my big bro. So this is like a second home for me. I always get greeted with love and respect when I come this way. I appreciate y'all for having me here. Trappy Gilmore is out. Trappy Gilmore 2, BlocStar Entertainment, Macntaj. California Dreamin album is out now by X-Rated, X-R-A-I-D-E-D. Holla at us, man, we trapping. Y'all pulled up and just hit a homer. You know what I mean? That make it all what it is.
Your flesh apart. That's the deal. God call 911 apply pressure part. That somebody get his help.
BlocStar, got my guy Yogi Calhoun, one of the hardest out.
Hello, BlocStar, man, East Oakland, California, man. Yogi Calhoun, man, your girlfriend's favorite rapper, the neighborhood's favorite trapper. Hello.
Shout out to Oakland, California. Got my boy Manjaro on this thing, King Apollo.
You already know what's happening, man. H-Town in the motherfucking building, man. Overbrook, we out here, baby. You feel me? We out here in Washington right now. We're about to turn up BlocStar. You know what I'm saying? Working on my LP. Y'all look out for that, and it's coming out soon. 100.
Man, shout out to Hip Hop Seattle for having us. Saw love. I got some rosé for y'all on the whip, because I knew.
Come on, man.
I always pull up on you guys with the bottle.
Always.
So it's good.